What is up, family? It is good to be back on the channel. I am traveling, so definitely different location, different place today. But man, I am excited to be here and excited to be able to hang out with you guys for a little bit today. I see a couple of you are already kind of joining in and chiming in on the live. I love to see it. But yeah. Let me see. We got people joining on the Zoom side as well, trying to manufacture some real estate because I do not have much here today, but we are going to make it work one way or the other. But yeah, I love being able to connect. I'm seeing my Instagram fam coming through as well. What's going on? I see you. Thank you for being with us today. It's always good to have some of the Instagram fam with us. Because I generally don't get a chance to go live on Instagram that much. So let's go Instagram fam. And of course, those of you who are chiming in, watching from YouTube and from Facebook, want to say a word of welcome to you as well. We have celebrated a milestone of 13,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I'm excited about that. And wanted to kind of share some of the frameworks and things that we kind of learned along the way, but also just to kind of do our normal coaching corner thing. This is the middle of the middle. This is the the middle of the middle. This is the midweek fill up. I forgot what else I call this thing. This is the coaching corner, right? We put it right in the middle of the week, middle of the day, so that we can engage with one another and learn. You can get your questions answered if you have any questions pertaining to content, pertaining to video production, this whole concept of no editing required, all those pieces. We want to make sure you guys get a chance to sink your teeth into that today. I see Mac is with us over on Zoom, and I also see Tracy's with us over on Zoom. Always good to have some of our community members. In fact, both of them are inner circle members. We're excited to have both of you with us today. I know that more are going to be joining as we go along today. So excited for that. See David Hunt is coming in. I see who else? Dr. Vibe is joining us as well. So our numbers are growing steadily over on in the Zoom room as well. Let's see here. Let's do that. Make sure we do that. Okay, so that gives me some flexibility. Yeah. Two quick notes, and then we'll be on our way. If you have ever wondered, can I give this YouTube thing a try, or should I even bother with this whole content scenario? Should I even dip my toe in the water? Right? I mean, I see these creators, I consume content. It seems like content is everywhere. It's all the rage, especially with the proliferation of AI. It just feels like it's all around us. Like even TV is now starting to feel more like content than the other way around. It used to be content. We would try to mimic what they do on TV. We don't do that anymore. TV is largely trying to adopt, what people are consuming in large portions online in social media, so that they can have a similar impact. In fact, we're seeing a lot more crossover in terms of influencers or well-known content creators who are being picked up by large brands to be able to do their ad campaigns. Will Smith did a movie, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence did the last Bad Boys, and they incorporated so many influencers into that movie. It was part of their advertising campaign. It was part of them kind of getting that movie out there to all of these audiences. I mean, you have influencers with millions of followers. You bring them into a thing like a movie, and then that movie becomes what that following is talking about. Like, Kabi is going to be on this movie. He's going to be doing his thing. Literally, he comes in the movie and he just does his thing, and everybody's like, ah. There's such a overlap. We were seeing these worlds kind of collide a little bit, and that nagging question persists. Should I get into content? That is the question that is on a lot of people's minds, and I can tell you, as a content coach, as a media pastor, as a brand strategist, I hear this question in many different flavors, right? Many different ways that people are phrasing the question. They're looking at it from the perspective of, should I take my business and my brand and do some content online? Should I, bring awareness to my passion project through through leveraging video and content? Should I establish myself as a thought leader in my particular niche, in my area of expertise, using these platforms online? And the answer to all of them could be yes. Maybe it's no, but I would actually pose that that's not the real question. It's not the real question. The real question is, do you have a message? The real question is, do you want to reach a larger audience at scale? The real question is there somebody that you could be serving today that you're not serving because they don't know about you? They don't know that you exist. They don't know your solution set. They don't know the impact that you have, the value that you provide. If the answer to those questions are yes, then it becomes an easy and natural response to say, yeah, I definitely need to be utilizing content. I should be out there, because content from that shifted perspective becomes stewardship. Yeah. Content from that shifted perspective becomes the natural next step, because you're actually looking to be a good steward of what you have been given. If you had the cure for a rare disease, it would be selfish of you to keep that to yourself. It would be actually inhumane to not shout it from the hilltops and get on every broadcast and every news station to let people know that this cure exists. To me, whether or not you should get into content is not a question that you answer in a vacuum. You answer that question by recognizing, what in my story have I been able to mine, refine, and define such that I have this solution set? I have this particular strategy. I have this framework. I have these principles that, when applied, they yield a predictable result. And because I'm able to experience these predictable results every single time I apply this framework, these principles, this strategy, right, this solution set, I want to find the people who this applies to the most and ensure that they have access to it. Whether they avail themselves or not is totally up to them, but they have to have access to it. My family and I, we often laugh and joke. We don't often watch commercials, but a lot of the streaming platforms have incorporated commercials back in, even though we're paying for them, which is unfair. I don't know how they've done this, Paramount Plus, Apple TV, like Prime, where are these commercials coming from? I thought Netflix, like, where are these commercials coming from? I thought when I paid for the platform, I don't get commercials, but all of a sudden there's like this next tier up. You got to pay for that next tier not to get commercials. Okay, I'm ranting now. What's going on, Danita? Thank you for being with us today. But my family and I, when we're watching our shows, we're watching these different series on different platforms. We were recently watching David on Amazon Prime. Phenomenal series. Season 2 is now available. You don't need the Wonder Project for that anymore. But anyway, they had these commercials. These commercials largely center around some kind of a medicine, some kind of a prescription, something for skin, something for your gut health, something for knee pain, something for arthritis. Other things are for, depression and other things that are more mental health based. But they are these pills. And what I find interesting is that they recognize that this prescription, these pills, have the ability to have consistent results when applied in particular fashion. It can benefit those who suffer from a particular ailment or a particular diagnosis. And because this prescription, because this pill that has been formulated, tested, they've recognized it has this, they're now making it available. It's now available for public. They tell you, ask your doctor about this prescription. And what I find interesting is that part of that process of coming up with this pill and these prescriptions and making it available to the larger public, part of that process is money set aside to invest in advertising campaigns. Sometimes they create a jingle. Sometimes they create a song. Wegovy, what's up? We were singing the song. It's like, Wegovy. Why are we singing this song? Because they put money, effort, energy into ensuring that we remember what that solution set is, so that if or when we have the problem that pill, that prescription, that Wegovy solves, we immediately go to it. That's good stewardship. That's them making sure that they've done everything in their own power to put this solution set out there to the world. And I think many people find themselves in that space. What's going on, Toya? What's going on, Roger? Yeah. Danita says the songs are effective. They actually are. They really are. Many of us find ourselves in those spaces because we have a solution as well. In fact, my personal belief, and I've been coaching for some time now, and yes, I'm a person of faith, but my personal belief is that each one of us are born a solution to a problem. Written into the story and the fabric of your life is the cheat code, the up, down, left, right, A, B, start, the extra man, right? The way to get to the last level. Written into the fabric of who you are, into your very DNA, is a solution set that we have an onus, we have a responsibility to steward in a way that makes it broadly available to as many people as possible who suffer from the same thing that you do. And so the question about whether should I use content? Should I leverage content? Is content really for me? Is content something that I should be focusing on? That's not really the question. The question is, do you have something you need to share with the world? That's the question I want you to really grapple with. That's the question I really want you to really think through today. Do you have a solution that you could be sharing with the entire world? I'm trying to get my comments up here. I've been neglecting my comments. Let me see here. Matt Haas says, yo, Kirk, hope you are well, my friend. Hope you're doing well as well. Troy's World says hello as well over on YouTube. Thank you. Matt is over on Facebook. Darius O'Kane is with us. What's up, fam? A lot going on right now, but I had to poke my head in. Take care. Always good to have you, my friend. Always good to have you. Thank you for being with us today. Plush Live says, my bro, what's going on, sis? Always good to have you. And of course, Danita is on Instagram. Danita's comments are the only ones that I was seeing earlier, so I did get a chance to chat with her. I see Gary Jones saying greetings, everyone, as well. Thank you, Gary, for being with us today. Tracy is doing her good work in the chat, just kind of being our moderator. And she's letting everybody know, if you would like to join us, just go ahead on over to kirkrnewton.live/school. Go ahead and join the community, and you can actually join us today on the live. I'm excited about the questions and answer sessions that we're going to have in just a moment. But again, as I mentioned before, we want to ensure that we are answering the right question. And I pose that to each of you today. I'm looking at my comments because I want to see. Come on in, the water's warm, Tracy says. I want to see how many of you are going to answer that question. Do you have something to share? And if you do, then whether or not you grow fast or slow is not the point. The point is to hone the craft. The point is to mine the gold that's within your story. The point is to put it into a framework and a process and a system that people can actually go through and get a desired, repeatable, and predictable result. That's actually the real work. The content is you just capturing you doing the things that you are doing to ensure that the systems and processes are in place. That's the content. Yeah, Tracy says, I have too much I want to share. Yeah, the content is the fact that once you've answered that question, do I have something to share? The answer is yes. Then you don't need to answer, should I do content or not? Because there is no better, more effective, ubiquitous way for you to get your message out to the world than content. Now, are there strategies you can employ to ensure that your content reaches more? Yes. Do you want to be laser focused on your target audience and your value proposition? Absolutely. You got to play the game the way the game is meant to be played. So that, why? Because you want to be a good steward, so that you can get that message out to as many people as possible. There is something to be said for putting in the work that is required to ensure success with content. Whether you're a business owner, whether you're a thought leader, public speaker, doesn't matter. There's something to be said for that. Personally, my journey has been one that's been, pretty standard. It's been pretty slow moving. Some would even say. I mean, I've been doing content for I don't know how many years consistently, maybe 4 years, but really pushing the envelope probably about 2. And I'm at 13,000 subscribers. I literally just celebrated that 2 days ago. 13,000 subscribers. Woohoo! I'm excited about that. We hit 13K. And why I say we, because I believe that this is a community event, community effort. Sometimes it's not me even sharing the videos. It's other people saying, hey, have you seen this from Kirk? Have you seen this video? This video solved this problem for me. So go ahead and watch this video. It's not so much about me. It's about the content that's in the video. What's the message that's in the video that can help others? And so because of all of that activity, we find ourselves at 13,000 subscribers. Would I like it to be more? Yeah, sure. I would like it to be more, but that's a very selfish answer. I would like to have the amount of subscribers God has ordained me to have. I would like to serve who he feels I can manage serving. And if that's 13,000 right now, I'm okay with that. Because here's the real truth. If 13,000 people showed up at my doorstep, I would not be able to do it. If 13,000 people decided they're going to book a call, I would need to build out a team immediately. And I don't want that problem. So while I do want growth, I want organic growth. I want growth that makes sense. And I want to grow commensurate with the systems and processes that I've put in place to be able to serve the community that is being built around this concept, this idea. And what is the concept, its idea? I've kind of alluded to it a couple of times. Steward your story with content. Steward your story with content. Do you know your story? When was the last time you actually Googled yourself? Do you know what your grandfather went through when he was a teenager? Do you know your story? Do you own your story? Because in order to steward your story, you actually have to know it. You got to know the quibbles and quirks, the idiosyncrasies. You got to know the bends and twists in the road. You've got to, Tracy says, World War II. You've got to know your story. And listen, just that little answer that Tracy gave right there, World War II, that tells a lot of us, gives us a window into her story. There's perspective, there's insight, there's wisdom that can be drawn from our stories. So when you steward your story with content, that's what I'm all about. That's what I've built this platform for. That's what this entire space is designed to help you do, to steward your story with content. When you steward your story with content, there's a couple of things that happen. You will discover purpose. Yeah, the purpose is this ethereal thing. It seems like lightning touching earth. You can't really touch it, taste it. You can't really put your finger on it. But I'm telling you to a person, when you steward your story with content, you will discover purpose. You will discover purpose. And that purpose is confirmed by the lives that you change. That's the second part. Discover purpose, change lives. Those changed lives can't help but to share with others what you and your systems and processes, your story has done for them. And because they're sharing now, then you will start to expand your reach. Discover purpose, change lives, expand your reach. When your reach is expanded because of the lives that you've changed, because you've found your purpose by stewarding your story, when your reach is expanded, you will multiply your opportunities. Opportunities to speak, opportunities to engage, opportunities to serve, opportunities to facilitate, opportunities to walk people through the systems and the structures and the solution sets that you have created. You will expand your opportunities. You'll multiply. This is the DCEM framework. Discover purpose, change lives, expand reach, multiply opportunities. This family is literally how it all works. For we know that in all things, God works it together for the good of them that love him and are called according to his purpose, which is Romans 8:28. And if you really read that text slowly, you'll see within the text that it says how it all works. I just believe I'm in New Jersey this week for a graduation. Right, I should say I'm in New Jersey today and tomorrow for a graduation. We've got a niece and nephew who are graduating, one from 8th grade, one from high school, which is phenomenal. I don't know how they worked it out to have them 4 years apart. That didn't work out for us. Ours are literally stair steps. There's 17 months apart. And I'm telling you, we're going to really feel that pain when they hit college. But they've figured it out. They've got them 4 years apart. So we're here for that. And I love seeing graduations. It's such a, culminating time. It's the capstone of a particular season of life. I love that stuff. I'll be in Maryland this weekend for Media Ministry Methods, and I'm excited for that as well. So many different ways that God is using these spaces for us to be able to engage with people in ways that are meaningful, right? So we got 30 plus media leaders and media ministers who serve in a variety of capacities going to be joining us Saturday afternoon, June 13th, and then Sunday morning, June 14th, right there in Columbia, Maryland at Venture X. I'm excited about that. But these things happened, right? Because I was stewarding my story. I could not sit on what I had learned. God had written so many things into my story, allowing me to have some success in digital content, in launching online churches, in working as media pastor, in doing my own channel, but also being able to be a remote producer for several others and be involved in many different capacities from a media and content perspective. I am going to a conference in July where I will be speaking to a world NGO about how content can be used for ministry. These opportunities came my way because I was stewarding my story. I recognized what in my story was unique, what I had access to that others don't. What are the opinions that I hold that cut against the grain? What are the conclusions I've been able to come to because of something that I learned through my experiences that I can make available to others? This is the framework that I teach. These are the strategies that I believe in wholeheartedly. And this is what I feel is going to be the difference maker for those of you who answered in the affirmative that question that I asked earlier. Do you have something to share? And the answer is yes. Then you're in the right place. Whatever your questions might be today, I want you to feel free to throw it into the chat. This is a safe space. I call this the Coaching Corner, not because, I'm trying to boast myself up, but because everybody needs a corner. Everybody's got to have a space where they can pull aside, they can be the student for just a moment, and they can ask the question, the answer to which could be an unlock for countless blessings in their lives. So don't be bashful today. Don't be shy. Yes, we're celebrating the 13,000. Yes, I'm excited to be here in New Jersey and then, of course, in Maryland. I'm overjoyed by the way that God is opening doors for me to be able to serve, especially from a media ministry capacity. But this is your opportunity to ask your question. What is holding you back from sharing your message at scale with content? What's holding you back from stewarding your story? What's holding you back from actually having those conversations with mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, aunts, uncles, cousins, to understand what's in there that makes you uniquely you, that makes you tick, that's the reason why you come to it. It may actually even be phrased as a handicap to some, but it is a superpower to others. I want you to ask those questions. Some of you want to ask questions about StreamYard and Ecamm, and I get that. I'm not going to be sharing screen today, but I really want to encourage you to really think through what is holding me back from sharing the message I know I have with the world. Now, with that said, I want to go ahead and see if I can get a couple of comments here. Where's my comment seed? Let's get our comments going. Okay, let's see. I want to put up some of these names and so on. Oh man, look at that. I love seeing Danita in the chat as well. Thank you, Danita, for being with us today. Always cool. Let me see here. Dr. Vibe says, greetings, Kirk. I hope that you and your family are fine and safe. We are. We are. We are. With 4 drivers, it's a really great thing to be able to just kind of, sit in the back seat, get some work done while we're making our way to wherever our destination might be. Love that. Thank you so much for the question, Dr. Vibe. Tracy says, come on in, the water's fine. I love it. Love to see the interaction as well in the chat. It's always good to see that. I have too much I want to share. I love that. I love that. I love that. Good Wednesday to you as well, Dr. Tachi. Always good to have you with us. I see my moderators are saying hi to you as well. Cassandra says, hey, yes, I'm here. I love it. Okay, so Cassandra says, organization of my life to make room for where God is calling me to. Come on. I love that. I love that. I just got an email that kind of, getting in here. Mac is with us today over on Zoom, and Tracy's saying what's up to him. So Cassandra says fear of success. I want to unpack this a little bit. Fear of success. Cassandra, talk to me about this fear of success. I think a lot of people resonate with what you've said here, but I just want you to kind of break it down a little bit more if you can. Fear of success. Hey, Antoine Speller's on the live with us over on Facebook. He says, let's go. Let's go. I'm excited for that. I know that Cassandra's going to come back in just a second. Resonating Art by Amy. Am I saying that? Amy, yes. Thank you for being with us today as well. Always good to have you. I'm going to put down that volume on my laptop a little bit. I'm using a mobile setup today, y'all. So, excuse me for having to look off camera to kind of get some of your stuff. Usually I have everything on the teleprompter right in front of the lens. And so I'm having to kind of look off. I did a challenge in the community this week called the eye contact drill, and I'm failing at that drill right around now, but definitely excited to have so many of you rocking with us today. Come on, get your comments in, get your questions in as well. I'm waiting for Cassandra to come back. I hope that she's still with us. I hope I didn't catch that question too late. Let me see here. David Mac says, hey, Tracy, happy beyond belief. I love that, Mac. Always good to have you with us as well. Let me see what else we got here. I'm fine. Thanks for asking. Dr. Vibe says, ha ha ha. I love seeing the engagement in the chat. It's always good. Always good. Yes, Amy, one of my lot. I love that. Oh, cool. So Tracy says, Amy's one of my lot. Oh, that's so awesome. I'm excited to have you with us today, Amy. Dr. Vibe, good to see you again. Max says, okay, Cassandra's back. I'm going to practice my eye contact when you get me on screen. LOL. Yeah. I'm going to bring you guys on in just a second, but let's see if we can unpack this question from Cassandra in just a bit. From those of you who are in the Zoom room, coming to you in just a moment, but I wanted to see if we can unpack this a little bit. So Cassandra says, I feel what God is calling me to is huge, and I'm not trusting him enough to shepherd me through this success. Whoo! I am telling you, Cassandra, you are setting some people free just by putting that on screen. There's so many people who are saying to themselves right now, thank you, Cassandra, for being honest. Thank you, Cassandra, for articulating what I am thinking myself. Thank you, Cassandra, and I'm excited that you're with us today and rocking with us. Fear of success is a major thing. When all you know is this level. I mean, it's when we think about Moses at the burning bush, right? Moses was Prince of Egypt. So, I mean, he knew a level of success some of us could only dream about, but he also known the depths of failure and embarrassment. And he had made a terrible mistake, which ended up in him taking someone's life. Like, your boy Moses was a murderer. So he approaches this burning bush with a level of fear and trepidation that is, you can't even describe it. And what I'm simply, that is the space, that's the tension. I think it's not just fear of success, I would say, Cassandra. I would say it's fear, not even fear. It is a mindset that says, I'm not worthy to be used in this way. I don't know what success looks like, but I know what this looks like. And I also know me. I know my quibbles, my quirks, my idiosyncrasies, my failings, my shortcomings, my bents and my leanings. I know what my natural inclination is. And I'm not certain that you know, God, who I am for real, because if you did, you would not use me. But the Bible is replete. The Bible, cover to cover, shares with us story after story after story of people who we get to see the full story. This is where the whole steward the story comes from. Because we don't just hear about David being David. We hear about David being the media minister, or I should say the music minister, but also him being the warrior, the giant slayer. But we also hear about David being a womanizer, right? David being a rapist, if we could be really honest. David being a manipulator. David being a murderer. We hear about both sides because David the Bible did not allow David to just share one side of the story. It required him to share all of it. And this is where stewarding the story gets very scary. Because, in a coaching session with a client, I got the question from them, what does it look like? What happens when I don't want my story to be my story? What happens when I would prefer that my story sounded and looked like what I see others? What happens when I'm not proud of some of those steps in the road that is my story? And I'm simply saying, there is someone who is going to be reached by the missteps in your story, and they would never be reached by the success of your story. The parts of the story that let me just use myself, the parts of my story that went wrong. I mean, we're talking left, y'all, like that joint went off the deep end. But the parts of my story where that existed, where that happened, are parts that make me relatable to others. Like the part where the camera fell over off of the desk. And I know it seems like a trivial thing, but it was really embarrassing at the time. And I had to reach down, pick it up and put it back on the table and continue doing my live stream. And I can't tell you how many people would call and message, DM, and book a session with me and be like, I can't believe you did that. I died inside when that happened to you. Like, how did you do that? Those are the pieces that make you much more relatable. Those are the pieces that make you usable. What qualifies you for being used by God is not your strength, it's your weakness. And that's biblical. In our weakness, his strength is perfected. So sometimes I'm not taking from the fear of success. I think that that's a major component. But I think just a level below that is this reticence to be used. God, I don't think you could really use me. That's a heavy space to be in. That requires us to do something that is completely and totally outside of our comfort zone. Okay, let me see what we got. All right, so she says, plus, I know it's going to be hard, but I'm beginning to choose this kind of hard. We all get to choose our hard. I love that statement. You choose your hard. You choose what your hard is. Because my fitness coach is like, it's hard to be fat, but it's also hard to be in shape. They're both hard. Which one do you want to choose? I was like, I'd rather choose the hard to be in shape. But you get to choose your hard. You get to choose your hard. And I love that. I love that phrasing. I love that statement. And I think, Cassandra, you're on your way. And I would love an opportunity to just kind of, chat with you. On my website, there's a clarity call. I think that's something that you should absolutely look into. It is a nominal fee. It's not like any of the other types of calls that I have, but I would love for you to be able to go and check that out. KirkRNugent.com. Right at the top, it says, let's work together. If you click there, you're going to see a number of options. One of them is a clarity call towards the bottom of the page. I'd love to be able to jump on the clarity call with you, Cassandra, so we could kind of walk through what those best next steps could be. And I thank you for being able to share so openly and honestly with us today. That's a big question, Cassandra. I love that. I love that. I love that we're all processing this stuff together. I love that. I love that. Computer Pal is with us today. Always good to have you with us, man. Always good to have you with us. He says, I'm ready to learn. I love it. Cassandra says, no, oh, not the worthiness. Come on, Coach Kirk. Come on. 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 I love my Instagram fam is rocking today. Yeah, we rocking today. Come on, David Hunt says the rest of the story. You gotta steward the whole thing. You gotta steward the whole thing. So, here is another question. So, what does it look like to accept God, to accept how God sees me, not how I see me? I'm assuming it's a daily thing. Submission, maybe. Yeah, I think there is a mindset and a mentality for us as humans to, the whole saying that, fake it till you make it. it's there is some merit to it, but by and large, it has absolutely had an adverse effect on society. There's a backfire that happens there, but there is some merit to it. I think you do have to kind of, decide. You can't always wait for the feeling. You do have to decide, okay, today I'm going to be disciplined. I'm deciding. I'm just going to decide to be disciplined. But then there's something, in my opinion, of doing the heart work, the mental work, the emotional work to understand you. So I'll give you an example that comes straight out of my own background. I have OCD. And it is a debilitating condition. It is not a positive thing by the world's standards, but it was freeing to understand that this is what I have, because it gave me a framework to understand how I tick. And I don't think we put enough effort, energy, and attention, or priority, I should say, priority, not attention, priority on understanding us. Get a PhD in you. Understand you. When you understand you, you can bring a whole version of yourself, because when you understand you, you have accepted you. And when you've accepted you, you can be authentic. When you've accepted you, you'll know, I'm not going to say yes to the 6 a.m. Call because I know me and I'm not getting up. You get what I'm saying? It's like when we do the heart, emotional, mental work to understand us, and maybe that's a diagnosis, maybe it's not, maybe it's therapy, maybe it's coaching, I don't know. But when we go through and understand ourselves, and we can pinpoint to pieces of our story that really give us insight and perspective on why we do things the way we do, right? When I think back on what my dad is, I recognize, like, yep, I see me in him. And there's insight and perspective that I have on what makes me tick that I've been able to share with my dad. And my dad's like, oh, snap, I do that. That is something that we do, right? And what has happened to my camera? Don't you love when these kinds of things happen? I'm on the road, y'all. This is what happens when you're on the road and trying to make some things work. This is interesting. Let's see here. Let's make a quick shift and change. I don't think in my life I've ever used the webcam to live stream, but it's going to happen today because I don't have another option. Let's go to this. Or maybe I might be able to find another way to do this. Yeah. This is another one of those scenarios where it's like, oh, snap, I can't believe this has happened. And how are you calm in this kind of scenario? If it can happen to me, then it can happen to my coaching clients. And if I can show them how to be calm and collected in these kinds of moments, they can do it themselves as well. All right, here we go. We're making a switch to my mobile virus camera. Let's go. Let's go here, camera. Okay, we're gonna make that camera. Okay, let's go to camera A. Let's go here. Camera included in switcher is what I really should have done. All right, and there, and then we're here, and we go here. Okay, let's see if that works. Did that work? It doesn't work. All right. All right. Included switcher. Don't know why it's not working. Included switcher, FaceTime camera. Go there. Let's change to that one. All right, so you can see me now, which is good. But I would like a scenario where you can, I don't know. We're gonna go with it. All right, let's see what else other comments and questions have come up since I had my disaster. Let's see here. Oh, yes. Okay, here we go. Good to see you too. David Hunt says, thank you guys for your patience and understanding. Oh, that's good. So don't run away from my weakness, but lean into it. Yes, absolutely, Cassandra. In fact, the weakness many times, in many cases that I've found, that weakness could be considered, one of your superpowers. Okay, let me see. I think if I move it down like there, that's a little bit better. But yeah, that is absolutely something to think through. Okay. Tracy says, the Clarity Call is such an amazing investment. The most valuable time I have spent, I think. Come on, Tracy. I can't thank you enough for that. Truly, truly appreciate that. Act as if in the meantime of the downloading. Come on. I love it. Nice stripes though. Come on. You got to love the color bar. Danita says, the living example of what you were just talking about. You were absolutely correct. You got to be able to roll with the punches. You got to be able to roll with it. This thing will happen to the best of us, right? And for me, it's like, okay, I just got to get through this. I'm sitting here thinking I need to keep looking at the camera when the camera's right here. All right. But yeah, you just want to be able to get through this thing, man. Get through this thing and be able to share the value that you came to provide. When you understand you accept you, which leads to being authentic. Come on, Cassandra, listen. I need you. I need you just for these sound bites. Mobile and live always has twists and turns. Go with the flow. Come on, BT. Thank you. Thank you for rocking with me today, man. Always good. Max says, did you knock your camera off again? Nah, it looks like the battery died. I guess I thought I had it plugged into the wall, but it's all good. Oh, color bars. You gotta love it, Andy Lehman. You gotta love it. This is real live production right here. A true professional knows how to handle adversity. Come on, computer pal. Dr. Vibe says, I see you now. What's good, Geraldine? She says, often we want the fruit of walking in God's without going through the refiner's fire. Come on, Geraldine, man. That's good right there, sis. The refiner's fire. I'm telling you, just my own experience, it has taught me time and time again that there is no world where you get to do all the things that you want to do and not have to go through. If you want to live like no one else, you got to do some things that nobody else is willing to do. We often only see the glory, but we generally don't look at the story, right? And the story will tell you, like, are you sure you want that? Are you sure you can handle that? Are you sure this is the space that you want to be in? But you will be better for it. You will be better for it. Rain Man says your value isn't in execution only, but intentionality, which will always shine as long as you don't give up. Come on, come on, come on. You speaking my language today. Y'all helping me teach today. I love this. I love this. Um, I do want to ensure I get a couple of questions from my Zoom room. So I see several of you are there, and I am hoping, yeah, I think we have you guys unmuted. So Zoom room, come on, come on, come on, talk to me. Does anybody want to ask a question? While you guys are doing that, I see one last comment from Cassandra here. She's currently doing a 30-day tap challenge with my sister-in-law on IG, and I'm telling you, this is right on time for me. Oh, let's go. Let's go. I'm excited for that. Always a typo. God's will. I was trying to read it through, and I was like, often we want the fruit of walking in God's will, okay, in God's will without going through the refiner's fire. Thank you for sharing that, Geraldine. Always good. So yeah, if you are in the Zoom room and you have a question, I'm looking to see if any hands are raised. Yeah. Dr. Vibe's hand is raised. Go ahead and come off mute for me real quick, and we'll get you on screen. Talk to me, Doc. What you got for me today?
Hey, everything's good. How's family? Everything good on your end as always?
Everything is good. Family is good. We're all here together, enjoying New Jersey. I love this.
All right.
Computer Pal says, "Be careful what you ask for. You might just get it. So know
That's a
your
very
purpose."
important,
Come on, come on,
very
come on.
important.
Oh, it's a Yap challenge. I was wondering. I was like, well, Tap challenge? No, Yap challenge. Okay, I get it now, Cassandra. I get it now. Let me go back to my host scene here, and let's get Dr. Vibe on camera with us. Doc, what's going on with you,
Hey,
man?
everything. Question for you. I know your main drive is the live streaming. Do you still feel it's a value to release audio versions of a live stream?
One second. Not yeah, not that I'm not giving people an echo, and I think I was so, but I think I fixed it. So yes, ask the question one more time. I think it probably
Yeah, yeah,
be able to better hear it now.
yeah. So most of the time, almost all the time, we talk or you talk about the power of live streaming.
Yeah.
Do you still think there is a value in 2026 of releasing an audio version of a live stream?
Yeah, absolutely. If the live stream is structured properly, you absolutely can pull the audio from that live stream. I would say the first 20 minutes or so of this live stream, I could easily pull that. Maybe clip off the
Okay.
first few minutes where I was getting some things set up. You know, when you go live on Instagram, there's a bit of a challenge. It doesn't quite go live automatically, so you need to have that counter to be able to do that. But in most cases, and you know the way that I structure it, I like to front load that value. I'm not really taking a lot of comments, not really engaging the online audience. I'm really more focused on delivering a particular message. And so yeah, I have structured live shows for clients for them to be able to pull out the audio of a particular segment and have that be a podcast, you know. So
Okay.
yeah, absolutely, that there is a way to do that. This is actually one of the strategies that I like to teach, is that live video is at the top of the pyramid. It's the top of the content pyramid. You can get every other form of content from live video, but you cannot get live video from any of the other forms of content. And so, yes, yeah, I would absolutely say 100 times yes. You could pull out a piece of your live stream and use it as an audio podcast. Yeah, great question, man. Thank you for that.
I might do I have permission to ask another
Oh,
one?
sure. I mean, listen,
Good.
I'm looking in the Zoom room. I don't see any other hands up. So anybody else that wants to jump in, feel free. But yeah, go ahead, Doc.
Yeah. What do you feel is the next step when it comes to AI and live streaming?
So live, I don't AI and live streaming is an interesting, combination. I actually do not put them together. I think
Okay.
AI can help me to do so many different things as I prepare for my live stream, as I repurpose my live stream, as I set up my infrastructure and my systems, my on ramps for my content. But when it comes on to the actual live stream, I yeah. So okay, maybe AI could help me to fine tune my messaging. It could help me to have some insight into what way, which angle should I take if I'm going to share a particular thing. I do engage AI from that perspective. Like even the challenge that I'm doing in the community right now, right? So we did the 5 minute 5 minute masterclass challenge was on Monday. The what's it called, the I focus, what is it called? Now I'm drunk up. It's what's the name of that challenge? Okay, I've got to look it up because I got to get it right. I said it earlier, but the second challenge yesterday, the eye contact drill. Oh mercy, yeah. But the eye contact drill is another challenge that we did in there. But those, and I have two more, one tomorrow and one on Friday. But those are definitely ideas, the seed of which I was able to get from AI, and then I grew it into a series that I'm going to do in my community. I do think that there is a number of ways that we can leverage AI to help us do some of the grunt work, stuff that you have are repetitive tasks that you just have to do. I think you can absolutely set up AI to do some of that work for you. But when it comes on to actually being talent on screen, when it actually comes on to engaging with others, because what makes live different from any other form of content is that there are comments right now, right? I can see Canva AI tools. I can see Computer Pal. I can see Tracy Lippett. Their comments coming into the chat. I can see Georgie, Gorgeous Gifts. I can see all of these people, Cassandra Bay as well. I can see all of them in the chat. AI cannot do that. And so that is something that I think is reserved for us as humans. And I believe there's something indelible, there's something divine about the ability to create that we should never outsource to artificial intelligence. That's just Kirk's personal opinion on that.
No, so, appreciate that. Absolutely. No, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, like yourself, AI is great for me for prep.
Yeah. Margot.
And also, asking and research on good questions and polls and things like that.
Perfect.
It's a game changer. It's a game changer.
I've kind of really worked with Gemini is my preferred LLM. I know that's not everybody's. That's okay. But I really kind of honed in on a particular framework for my How It All Works podcast. And man, I'm telling you, it's crazy how good that thing can nail that joint. When I input the details for my guests, for what I want to do in the episode, like what I want to share, what I want that episode to be about, and I pull it's so good at just, even for when I do, with Taina Nixon's my co-host, it'll pull stories from her that we have shared in the past, because I feed AI all the transcripts of all of our shows. This is part of the stewardship piece, I think, Doc Vibe, and I think it's relevant for us to go here. I do think that people, similar to what Geraldine said earlier, people want the blessing, but without having to go through the fire. They want the benefits without having to do the work. When it comes on to AI, there is a lot of work that we need to do to give it the context so it can give us good answers. Gigo still applies. Garbage in, garbage out. So if you're not giving it good context, I feed my AI the transcripts we're at episode like 50 something now. So I feed AI the transcripts for every single episode of that podcast, which means it's listening, it's learning our idiosyncrasies, our stories, our things that we share. I mean, it came up, was like, Taina talks about ADHD, so she could talk about this. And I was like, oh, snap, it's so right. She does talk about that. She talks about that all the time. You see what I'm saying? So that's a perfect use, in my opinion, for AI to kind of culminate some of the things. I was talking to Danita earlier. She was on Instagram watching. I don't know if she's still there, but I was talking to Danita earlier today in one of our sessions, and she was talking about having gone through a series of trainings for her Author's Keeper program. So it came to a close, and she was like, man, I was trying to put together this guide, and she was telling me how the AI was able to pull out some of the things from the trainings. I'm like, man, feed that transcript from all those trainings into AI and let it use it as a base to give you back itemized structures, frameworks, the things that you normally say. AI is so good for finding those patterns. I mean, yeah. So I think the prep, you are spot on, my guy. That is absolutely the best way to use it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll just say one last thing because I know Tracy has a question. One of the
Sure.
things, especially since StreamYard introduced its polls, so what I do is I've got a prompt that will give me questions, multiple choice questions, and multiple choice answers.
Ooh,
Oh, okay.
that's
Okay.
good.
I can share with you offline. I can share with you offline.
No, yeah,
I
we definitely
I
need to talk through that as well, my friend. That is absolutely
yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
That's
yeah. So
amazing.
it
That's
feeds
amazing.
me. Yeah, yeah. And I've got prompts for all different things that were given to me, but definitely for the questions online, it's so good to able to, you know, I'm doing a show about this and this. My audience is, for example, men and women over 25 years old.
Hmm.
I want to get more engagement in these areas. Give me 5 multiple choice questions with 3 short answers each.
Wow.
Bang.
So good, man. Bro, that's gold. There's, and I think these are the ways that we definitely want to engage. Let me see what I want to grab a couple of comments before I see if there's any more
Bring
questions.
Tracy. Tracy wants to come up too, so I don't want
Okay,
to
yeah,
take any
no,
of
yeah,
her
Tracy,
time.
come off mute. I'm gonna grab some of these comments and I'm gonna come to you. Here we go. 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 Hi, Amy. Hi, Tracy. I have a quick question. RE live on school. Tracy, I'm coming to your question. I see this in the chat. Computer Pal says, as a creator, how do you stay ahead of AI? Oh man, I'm gonna come to that. Well, let me star some of these because this is a really good follow up question.
I'd like to put my answer in on that one too.
Yeah, let's go ahead while I grab a
And
couple of
also,
these.
yeah. So for computer planning, you can get, just like there's AI slop, you can get AI overwhelm.
So true.
So I've got to the point where I only use about 3 or 4 tools, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because if I paid attention to every new AI thing that came up, I'd be all over the place.
Right.
So I have 3 or 4 tools that get me exactly what I need, and I just get results. And another suggestion too, if you're gonna test out any of these AI tools, do not, my suggestion, don't get a year-long subscription.
Yeah.
Get a month
subscription
and see how much you use it, and it's of value of you to you. Because and actually I gotta ask Kirk this offline, because I'll say it out here. Opus Clip, they had a software they just introduced a little while back called Opus Agent. They have drastically changed their pricing model.
Wow.
So anyone who's got a year long, and like I'm on their Discord group, people are not happy.
Wow.
Like people are demanding their money back, this and that, the whole. So my suggestion is go monthly until you feel, and again, any of these things are being introduced to us outside of even Anthropic could go down.
No,
but
they can.
I doubt it.
They can.
Right? They go down. They can go down. So I would just say, try to get a core of things that you use and just go with them. And do some experimenting.
Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head. I in terms of let me get Tracy's question real quick, and then I'm going to try and run through the chat, because I see I'm definitely going to have to kind of scroll back through and get some of these. So Tracy, go ahead and come off mute and start talking with me. So I'd love to kind of hear what you got as well.
Yay, okay. Tracy! Yay! Good to see Tracy.
Hello, Dr.
Hello, Tracy. How are you?
Whatever you eat, I need some. Right. First of all, what you guys have been saying with regards to the AI, I couldn't agree more. As a support act, as to help you get your thoughts ordered. I love the idea of only doing the monthly subscriptions as well.
Right.
Yeah, definitely, because I've been caught out like that too. My question is pretty straightforward. On the school platform, it's a couple of questions about that. Mm-hmm. As you may know, I've recently opened up my own school group.
Yes, that's right. Congratulations.
I've got about, I think today I've got 40 members when I look. Some have come through the school network, and some have come through, obviously, people I know through my YouTube channel and so on. And on that topic, it's lovely to see Tony and Amy in the chat.
Hey, good to have you guys.
Now, because they're some of my crafty friends. Now, the question is about when I start to do live group meetings, we're going to do proper catch-ups, much like we do, Kirk, in your community.
Right.
I've done the first one, and there were 4 of us. That was a nice little group. It was just a tester to see how it all works. We've got it going. We had a good chat, talked through some questions and things. How many people will school video live thing actually allow you to have in one chat? Next part of that question is how many is actually wise to have in that one chat?
You can have
all at once.
You can have, from what I understand, you can have your entire community in there.
Can you imagine that if they're all on the screen? Well, do they have to be on the screen? That's the other part.
So there is
anywhere they could just be on chat, or whether they have to be on the screen.
There's 2 versions. So one is the video call version, kind of like what we're doing now in Zoom. But then the other one is what they call webinar, school webinar. And in the webinar one, you don't have, everybody's camera is not connected. They are able to chat, but they're not able to talk or turn on their camera unless you, the host, bring them in.
Right, like a proper webinar,
like a proper
software
webinar,
used to be.
So you can definitely you can bring them in. I think that's so for the larger communities, that's what they usually stay with.
That's going to be the way to go.
Absolutely.
We did just the normal live chat with just the 4 of us.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think
so. You're right. Okay.
I would say, I wouldn't want anything more than 10. Realistically, I think honestly, you see how I do this inside the community. Like I bring up Dr. Vibe, and then I bring you up. I don't bring both of you up at the same time because I just feel like it's better for those who are viewing this online just to see the 2 of us.
Yeah.
And so it's better. It's better from a conversational standpoint. It's better from a production standpoint, and then just we can pay attention to the back and forth in the conversation as opposed to somebody's just kind of sitting there nodding their head. Maybe they're typing, they're off, they're distracted, they're doing something else. I think being able to just bring 2 people up, have the conversation, put somebody else up, and then have that conversation. Right. I think that's great. But in terms of, so you said how many should you? I would say personally, I prefer 2, right? But I do think that there is value in having other people being able to talk. And then of course, if they're in the comment section, like we have now, right? We got 11 people watching online. We got, several more that are watching inside Zoom, and the comment section is flowing so we can engage them. So like, 24-hour boss is with us today. Thank you for being with us. He says, hey, famo, hey to you as well. He was over on Instagram. He came over to YouTube. I thank you for that. And then of course you said her name. This is Amy. I think is that Amy?
That's Tony. That's
Tony.
George's gorgeous
Tony.
Is Tony.
Yeah. So Tony,
Amy is resonating up by Amy.
Awesome.
They're both in the chat.
Awesome. I'm excited that they're both here. And I also want to celebrate with what Dr. Vibe is saying in terms of, that's awesome. 40 members in your school community already is phenomenal. And
I'm kind of surprised. I haven't launched the courses or anything yet. I've just
people want community.
Sort of said what's going to be going and put some examples of some free resources in there. And you said to me, Kirk, don't wait until you've got all this stuff in there. Just get your people engaged and build with them. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do. I've given some of them, including the 2 that are in chat. Tony, I don't know if I sorted yours out yet. I can't remember that I've sorted Tony out, but Amy, I definitely have given them the free VIP membership, so that they can see everything that I'm doing, and then possibly give me a bit of feedback if they want to. But it's been a thank you for friends. Right. Tony, if I haven't sorted you out, remind me. I will sort yours too.
Sure.
Because they can be a little bit of a feedback and a moral support loop for me. And I think for friends, it's nice that we can actually gift that. And I'll be able to give them the courses free as well, just so that they can see what I'm up to.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited for you. I think this is amazing. How you have been able to kind of maintain this and move it in the direction that you want it to move has just been awesome. So I'm excited for that. I think, you're growing the way that this is the way that it should go. I do want to grab a couple of these other questions. Is anybody else in the
Okay, thank you.
Zoom room wanting
Thank you very much.
to ask a question real quick? I see David Hunt is there.
So Kirk, don't have to bring me up on camera, but I just want to celebrate Tracy for, that's fantastic.
Yo, 40
Really,
members. That's big.
That's big. And also another thing she said, she didn't have everything down. She just did it. And I think there's something to be said about that. And a few weeks ago, I had a chance with about 500 people to listen to a lady share, who's a sports psychologist. She's like 5'1". She coaches like sports athletes at top line from all the major sports in North America, right? And one of the things she said really stuck to me. She said, you know what? She says, one of the words I can't stand these days is confidence.
Ooh.
She says, I can't stand that word. She says, I just tell my clients, just do it.
Yeah.
Don't think, just do it.
Its confidence is elusive. Because it denotes, or it makes it seem like that people, everybody has it, and it's not true.
So that's when Tracy shared how she just launched her school community. I just wanted to share that thought was just really, so Tracy, thank you so much for being open.
Yeah.
And just saying, you know what, I didn't have everything down. I just launched it, and you're getting results.
Yeah. And you'll be that much further ahead of anybody else. I love that, man.
Exactly.
Thank you for celebrating with her as well, bro. Appreciate
it. That was just wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Vibe.
Yeah, man.
Could I just chip in another little thing here?
Absolutely.
I don't know whether I've ever told you, Kirk, about my late brother. He died at the age of 38, and he was already a millionaire.
Oh, wow.
And he seemed, what's just reminded me to mention this was what Dr. Vibe said about confidence. He seemed supremely confident. He was one of these people that walked into a room and you knew he was there. I don't know where he got those genetics from, because the rest of my family we're really ordinary. But he just got that presence, that wonderful way with people, that calm confidence. And he was 2 years younger than me, and and we were in the same line of business at the same time, and I was muddling through, and he was busy planning his new helicopter pad.
Yeah.
And so I said, how do you do it? How come you are so confident? He said, I wasn't. And what he did was he faked it until suddenly he realized he was.
So this is where that thing is. Yeah.
And it's the most bizarre thing, because he didn't appear any different. He was still being him.
Yeah.
He was just acting this confidence until suddenly he realized, actually, you know what? I can do this.
I can do this.
Sometimes I'm not good at that. So I have to remind myself, but just having this little voice in the back of my head, that still works for me.
You see Cassandra's comment here?
I'm not confident. I want to be Tracy too. Can you tell me about your community coach, Kirk?
Yes.
What, you want me to tell you about Kirk?
Yeah.
Kirk's awesome. I dropped onto Kirk's channel. Crikey, Kirk. I think the channel was very, very young, wasn't it?
It was.
What is it? 2 years? 2 years or more?
Yeah, somewhere there. It was a while, because I was still on Kajabi way back.
Oh yeah, it was way back. Yeah, because I could get my head around Kajabi. I was so pleased when you moved over to school and showed us it all. It made sense to Tracy brain. But yeah, quite early on. It's got to be about 18 months ago, more than that possibly.
I would say about 2 years.
We did. But you remember we did a one-to-one, and I was like, I want to do this and I want to do that, and I was getting stressed because it was too much. It's like I said earlier, I've got too much I want to share. Probably not all of it needs sharing. But I was in a terrible hurry, and Kirk just asked me lots of really deep questions that made me stand back and think. And within that, I think we had an hour, didn't we, Kirk, thereabouts? And we just formulated this a bit of a plan. Some of it, a lot of it I have done. I've carried through. Some of it I haven't. I still haven't tidied up my craft room, Kirk. You go. It's still a mess.
Listen, it's yes. Continue. I'll let you finish.
But a lot of the other things I have done, but it's taken me a lot longer. But I stopped stressing about it. I was stressed because I wanted to get video. I've got other channels, and I wanted to make them big and really go for it, like at a rate of knots. Whereas the discussion with Kirk made me think about pacing it, to think about what I really wanted to do, where the priorities should be. And you know what? I slowed it down even more. And
Hmm.
now I do these other things. It fits and starts when it suits me,
Hmm.
and it's working for me, and I'm having fun doing it.
That's the
I'm
part.
not stressing. And yeah,
Having
the
fun.
fun came back.
Yeah.
I mean, there's other things that have caused me a world of stress. There's some going on again at the moment. But all the things that I could control, I was putting myself under huge pressure, thinking, I haven't got time, I haven't got time. And eventually, thanks to Kirk helping me get my crazy brain straight, I was starting to think, yeah, but who's planning this?
Mm,
What am I doing this for? Hang on, it's me. I'm my own boss.
I love this.
So it was just a great exercise in getting my head straight. From here on, from there on, what the community has done for me is it's given me people from very different walks of life with very different social media niches to me. We can all talk to each other
Yep.
and be each other's cheerleaders
Yep.
and ask questions, run ideas by each other, and just getting us together like this, and the other meetings that you people out there don't see because
Yeah.
we do them
We
within
do
the
have others.
community. Yeah, Kirk brings experts in for us in various fields. We
Hmm.
do masterclasses on things that Kirk organises for us.
Hmm.
We do a tools and tech session where we can just go, why isn't my webcam working? Through to some really deep studio setup
I love
discussions.
that.
It basically covers everything. It's about putting stuff out on social media and a lot of the psychology behind it. So as a moral support group and an idea sharing, keeping us on track,
Yeah,
yeah, keeping our heads straight.
absolutely.
It's honestly,
And
I just honestly couldn't recommend it enough. And
you
feel free to
you
clip and use that if you want,
you
Kirk.
have no, you've hit the nail on the head. It's always better to hear from others, um, what the program has been and has meant to them. I love, especially for you, because we've done several one-on-ones. In fact, we have another one scheduled later this
We
month, if not
have
early next month. But
early next month, yeah.
there's several components and ways for us to work together. That's why I just kind of keep it general and
Mm,
I say let's work together, because it's in our conversation, like in the clarity call or in the discovery call. That's where we can kind of figure out what would be the best way for us to work together, or for us to make a decision that maybe it might not be best for us to work together. But all of what Tracy shared is what we've designed it to deliver, right? And some of it is going to be based on your own goals. I mean, so for Tracy, there was some specific goals she wanted to hit, but there was some permissions that she needed to just give herself, right? It doesn't have to be at that pace. But then there are other people like, Steve Factor was with us. I think he's kind of doing his own live stream right now, so he's not in the Zoom room.
mm, there he is.
Florence has been with us for almost as long. David Hunt has been one of those that's been with us for a long while. It was just us. We were just kind of rocking together, and being able to bring the platform over to school has really kind of opened the doors to give more people insight and perspective of what we have and what we do here. But
I think this is the thing. It's so flexible, isn't it?
it
Because
is.
Steve's going at it like a crazy man.
He is.
He's amazing. His energy, which is
Yeah.
ironic because his channel is called Pure Energy Chefs.
Yeah.
But he was the first to admit he had no clue what he was doing at the start, and he has
now
learned. He's like
look
a
at him.
sponge.
Yeah.
I know, it's
He's
staggering
turning
what
out
he's
videos.
learned.
It's amazing to see, and another
He's
thing to
incredible.
me, and you know this about me as well. I
Yeah.
know Tracy does. She has no problem editing. One of the things I don't like to do is to edit, and I don't want to see people.
I'm going off it.
Yeah, I don't want to see people put off putting out their videos because they feel like it needs to be edited. And so that's a big component of what we do. And one of the things that Steve was able to do is learn some of those principles. And he's churning out some really engaging videos, and he's not
Yeah.
having to edit them. So it's
Even with my stuff,
wildly
I'm editing
satisfying for me as
less.
well.
Mm.
Let me see what.
Yeah,
let me
I'm
get a
editing
couple
less
other
than I
comments here, Tracy. But let me
Okay.
see what I can do. Let me get what scene is that? Let's see this one. All right, so here we go. So I'm going to roll back here a little bit because there's a lot to cover. When you understand I starred this one for me. This was we got this question already. As a creator, how do I stay ahead of AI and stay relevant? So here's I want to give you this as a cheat code, Computer Pal, and I hope that the rest of you guys are listening as well. AI will very quickly take out that bottom rung of informational content. Like I was on a coaching call with somebody just last week, and I was telling them, because he wants to create this course, and I was like, there's got to be a live in-person component to your course. I actually would recommend that you teach it as a cohort as opposed to recording it as a static video. Why? Because somebody can take the transcript from your video, feed it to AI, get the bullet points, and they can go off to the races in terms of utilizing your strategy to be successful. So because AI is here, it's going to literally take out that bottom rung. We don't need to be fearful about this. We need to live in the spaces that AI can't. And what AI is going to do for many of us as creators, it's going to allow us to increase our prices, because what we're going to do with people and content is going to be far more of an engaging type of platform, right? So whether it's, some of the stuff that like Tracy does, she's teaching how to use resin and how to do these crafts. That stuff you physically have to see and watch. You're not going to be able to use AI to learn what Tracy's trying to teach you. And same for me, same for Steve, same for others. You want to live in the realm that what your content provides, I'm not going to be able to just passively consume. I've got to be engaged and consume it. Does that make sense, everybody? I want to say this in a different way. So when you're engaging with your content, one of the things I always say to folks is, if I can turn your video on and continue doing what I'm doing and just listen, you're in trouble, because that's basically, that's audio only. And I'm not saying that audio content is gone. I'm just saying you want your content to engage more than one of the senses. And if you can do that, you're not only staying, it's not a race with AI. So I'll touch on that in a second. You can stay relevant by ensuring that your content hits on multiple senses. Now, let me say this to the part of the question that says, how do I stay ahead of AI? We're not racing AI. We're not racing AI. If anything, AI is fuel. The question for many of us is, are we putting the AI fuel in our tank and allowing it to boost us further? We're not racing AI. AI is a tool to be used. Some of us are using it, some of us are not. And that becomes a differentiator, but you're not racing AI. If anything, you're trying to stay ahead of your counterpart who is using AI. That is a space that you want to exist in. And I believe that gives, that one reframe gives you some context to be able to actually decide and determine how best you can engage with AI and how you can stay relevant. Hopefully that's helpful, and I thank you for that. How do you stay consistent in the day-to-day life? Keep routines so you are full and lit for your community. Is it more than just passion? How do you stay consistent? Honestly, these are not things that I have to do. These are things that I feel that I get to do. I feel that I'm called to do, I'm purposed to do. And so I would do them whether I was being paid or not. I would do them if there was a camera on or not. But I want to do them in a way that is going to be the best from a stewardship component, from a stewardship perspective. How do I put it out there in a way that is going to best benefit the widest, broadest audience possible? And that's why I've decided to use and leverage content. How do I stay? Were you saying something, Doc Vibe?
Yeah, I just want, if I have your permission to quick interruption, just to add to what Cassandra is saying. For individuals like Kirk, Tracy, David, and others, especially in the community, it's a get to, not a got to.
Get to. I love that.
So I just want, you said that. So that's one of the things I always share with people. Like, Tracy has a heck of a lot more subscribers than I do. And just because she has more, it's not, I don't feel bad. It's still something I get to do.
Get to do.
I'm not, it's not, yes, I like Kirk and like Tracy, we want to impact as many as people as possible. But if we don't take the attitude of get to, because people are always looking at us, Cassandra and others. They're always looking at us. And especially, and I want to add too, when Tracy was on, it aligns to what one of the things that Kirk has mastered, the importance of storytelling.
Absolutely.
She just told that story about her brother, her storytelling. So when this is just me, I just share people, when you first meet someone, all you have is your story.
That's all you got. AI's got no story.
I just like what, look at this. Tracy just said, live in the spaces that AI can't.
Live.
Love it.
Yeah, live. But yes, I love it.
Live. Sorry.
No, but so many people put that in the chat. Those are words that I truly live by. There's so many comments that have come through. I want to see if I can at least try to get to a couple more of them before I do have to go. And of course, right as I did that, my battery has
camera goes again.
My camera decides to take a nap again. But now that I figured it out, I can shift a lot quicker. But that would be my thing. How do you stay consistent in the day-to-day life? Keep routines so you are full and lit for your community. And here's the thing I want to say to you, Cassandra. There's a last piece I'll say to this, and I'm going to move on to the next one, is that you might not be consistent. You might not be, you might not be lit. You might not, you know what I'm saying? Like you might actually, you've got to keep space for that eventuality. At a certain point, you may actually not be able to, there are going to be days where you have to give yourself grace for those moments. Some of the things that I like to say is to show up anyway. Show up and be honest about the fact, man, I don't really got it today. There are times where I've been able to show up to this very show, Coaching Corner, and my community has been the one pushing the content, meaning they're the ones that are, really answering the questions, engaging with the chat, doing all the things. So it's creating the systems. Consistency is not about never having a bad day. Consistency is about creating systems and infrastructure so that when you do, because it's eventual, when you do have a bad day, you have a structure to fall back on. So you can make it over that one gap, and you can get back to where you were, and you can continue to push through. So that's my philosophy on that, and I thank you for the question. Steve with here, he says, hey, Coach, thanks for this morning session, and thanks for this one too. I love it, Steve. I know you had to cut out, but I thank you so much, Steve, for your energy and your authenticity. It's contagious. Man, I clicked the wrong button. One of my A-listers is on the chat with us. His name is Chef Richard Hardin, and he had a comment. Did I miss his comment? I did miss his comment. Where did it go? Here it is. All right, here we go. Thank you, Chef. He says, AI will do its best when analyzing your priors for your future and may give you some items that you haven't thought of. But what you get out will only be as good as what goes in. I could not agree with you more. And I do, I just feel like this is that whole concept that we talked about before in terms of garbage in, garbage out. Thank you for sharing that, Richard, over on Instagram. Computer Pal says, how do you avoid burnout as a content creator in a competitive space? You don't compete. I'm just laughing because I know sometimes I say the thing that is probably way too obvious, but you don't compete. You don't compete. You know what the best, everybody says the best revenge is just living a good life, being fulfilled. Well, the best competition is not competing, but to just be fulfilled. Do what fulfills you. I was talking to one of my coaches. My coach has a mastermind group, and in that group, there's a couple of people who we were able to engage with. So this is not my coach, but my coach's mastermind. And the gentleman was sharing, he's like, yeah, I structured my business and I structured my content so that I can live the life that I want to live. I'm not allowing my business and my content to determine the life that I live. I have structured my business in a way. Does that mean I'm leaving money on the table? He said, absolutely. But it also means I can go to the dance with my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like it means that I can, if I don't really want to, I could probably just chill today. It means, and this is the thing that blew me away. He said he has a date day with his wife, 1 day a week where him and his wife just kind of hang together and they do things together. I was like, good night. I've got a date night. This guy's got a date day. Those are things that you've got to structure your life so that it meets your values and it refills you. And when you do that, avoiding burnout is not a goal, right? Because you have created a system of a rhythm of rest, rejuvenation, and you're doing things that fulfill you. When I get off a coaching call, I am tired, I am spent, but I am invigorated. I feel purpose to do that thing. So I hope that makes sense, Computer Pal. I thank you for that question. Cassandra asked earlier, of course, we responded to this. I want to be a Tracy too. Can you tell me more about your community, Coach Kirk? And I hope that we shared with you answers to that, Cassandra. KirkRNugent.com is the place to go. I put it in the chat earlier, and I hope that you got a chance to check it out. I'd love to just, even if it's a discovery call, just book a call. I would love to be able to engage with you further so that we can kind of figure out, how we can work together. What does that look like? What's going to be that best next step? I think that's going to be awesome. AI is going to allow us to increase our prices. Come on. I really believe this. I really believe this. Again, I'm referencing my coach, but one of the things he was able to do, was he had a session that he had planned. He had an in-person version of it. He had an online version of it, in-person and online. And so the in-person version sold out. He had about, I think, 40 seats for the in-person version. It sold out. The online version, of course, there was no limit, but he didn't sell as many seats to the online version. And he and I are seeing a trend where these online webinar type scenarios, we're seeing a downtick in the attendance for those, but we're seeing an uptick in in-person events. So I have a Media Ministry Methods conference this coming weekend. I've got almost 40 people registered. I did something similar online. I couldn't get 10 people. Now, I got more people to register, but I couldn't get people to show up. In-person event, the advent and the proliferation of AI has made in-person events more preferred. And in-person events cost more. So essentially, I'm saying AI has enabled me to make more money. AI has enabled me to increase my prices, because what I can tell people now is like, well, all you got to do is go to ChatGPT and say, hey, what would Kirk say for this? So if you just want that, you can do that for free. But if you want my time, guess what? My price is going up. Because if I'm going to work with you one-on-one, I can't be working with anybody else. I can't actually give that time to anyone else. And so AI is really enabling us to kind of knock out that bottom rung, that tier 1 level of interaction with your audience. They can do that with AI now. Cassandra is kind of a rock star. She's when you understand. No, that wasn't the one. Geraldine says, live in the spaces AI can't. I love it. 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 I'm going to see. I'm going to see what else we got here. Thank you so much for answering my questions, Coach Kirk. I really appreciate it. Man, Cassandra, thank you for being with us today. Truly, I appreciate it. It was just such a pleasure to have you guys on with us today. And I know there's more of you watching live with us, both on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. We're celebrating. We're celebrating. I love this. I see it that I love what I do, and I love sharing my knowledge with people, paid or otherwise. I love that. I love that, Tony. Thank you for that. Let me see here. Great Kirk quote. I love that. Great Kirk quote. I love it. AI's got no story. AI's got no story. That's just the truth. Life gets in the way sometimes. It sure does. It sure does. It sure does. I agree, Tony. One to one is so powerful where possible. It sure is. I would agree with that as well. Just do your thing. You'll be competitive by accident as that more relaxed approach brings out the best in you. Come on, Tracy. Woo! I love this. I love this. The best competition is being fulfilled. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. I've hit burnout a few times, so I've learned not to compete. I just do me now, and that's a great space to be in. And that's something you learned over time, and I love that. Mercy Abounds says, how do you begin a journey where you feel your truth is too sensitive for your audience or community, but you feel called in the area of your pain? So one of the things that I like to say right here, and I think this is a great question for us to kind of land on. Let me star your question. I'm gonna come back to it in just a second. I love that answer. You don't compete, be fulfilled. Now I can rest. Come on, computer pal. I love it. We got some good things in here. Just do your thing. You'll be competitive by accident. I love that. Geraldine says, do you think in-person events are gaining traction in multiple niches? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I think in-person events are not hybrid. I want to be clear. There is no online option. I think in-person events that are capped, meaning there is a limited amount of seats available. I'm not talking hundreds. I'm not talking about, you have a event hall that can seat 2,000. No, I'm talking about an intimate space. We're talking about 50 people maximum. Those kinds of events are flying off the shelf and people are traveling. They're paying for airfare and hotels and Ubers to get to these events. I know this because I've been to several of them and they're cleaning up. And I don't think that I think it's irrespective of niche. And so I do think that there's something to be said there. Oh man, she's on a roll. She says, what impact is the political and employment challenges having on both in-person and virtual events? So it's always interesting to consider, but here's a truth, Geraldine. One of the weed outs that I like to do when it comes on to content is I like to use terminology that lets potential clients know that there's going to be an investment. I want to be able to weed out those who are just looking for free. Because if you're looking for free, that's okay. But let's just be honest about that at the outset. Don't come in, talking about you're kicking the tires, but you really just want to see how much can I get from this person, from this resource for free. I know that they have my answer. I'm just wanting to make sure, I'm going to see how much maybe they don't know that they have my answer. Maybe they're willing to give me the answer for free. And if I can get it for free, I'd rather get it for free than anything else. And if that's the case, guess what? That person is not really intending on doing anything with that answer anyway. An in-person event, it's going to be at this location, at this time, and we're going to be talking about this thing. We're going to be providing this kind of transformation for this amount of people. That specificity weeds out the tire kickers. That specificity weeds out the half in, half out people. Like when somebody, listen, I want to be clear, even the person who has been laid off, they will use their last bit of savings to get to your event because they have made up in their mind that this event is the event that's going to put me over the line. It's going to allow me to win. And that person and that mindset, if I can be honest with you, that person and that mindset is going to win, doesn't matter whose event they go to. Because they've already made up in their mind that this has to work for me. And so what I would say is employment challenges and political, what we're talking about is weeding out the semi-interested, weeding out those who are not willing to do the work, and getting straight to those who you really want to work with, who you really want to serve, because they're going to have exponential results. And I hope that makes sense. Okay. I said I was going to get to Mercy Abounds Inexhaustible's question, and I'm going to use this as our landing point for today. And I want to say a word of thanks for everybody that came through and hung out with us. I think it's been a phenomenal time. And I hope that, Mercy Abounds is still with us. But how do you begin a journey where you feel your truth is too sensitive? And I want to say this to you. You don't want to share what you have not already overcome. You don't want to share in the areas that you have not. If you don't have a victory story, there's no merit in sharing there. Hopefully that makes sense. If it's you, my co-host for the How It All Works podcast says it this way: if you're still processing it, if you're still trying to understand it, if you're still grappling with it, you don't give the public an opportunity to weigh in. Don't share it with the world when you are actually still trying to figure out where you stand with it yourself. And so that's what I want to share to that question. He or she says that they're still here, so we're grateful that you're still here. You said it's sensitive for your audience or community, but you feel called in the area of your pain. Maybe what you need to do right now is to do the heart work, the mental work, the emotional work to overcome and to get to a place where you're settled with that thing, and you can then begin to turn back and serve others who have, the church that I used to attend was called The Bridge in Huntsville, Alabama. We were laser focused on the homeless community. And one of the things that would often happen is once we were able to help people get off of the street, get gainfully employed and get back on their feet, they always wanted to come back and help. They always did. But invariably, when others that we were working with heard the stories of those who have been able to overcome, they were like, well, I want to help too. It's like, well, you can't yet, because you haven't experienced victory yet. You can't yet because you haven't actually, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's get over the hurdle first. And once you've been able to land and settle, you will be able to speak from a place of having arrived. I don't want to say arrived as if it's like you've attained some status or something, but it's you've been able to do the work of processing the pain so that you're not in a hurt space anymore. And so I want to make sure that is clear. I do think that there is a season where you can serve in the area of your pain, but you don't want to get into that season too early, because it will have the opposite effect. It essentially would feel like you're letting people into your situation and your story, and you're letting them have a say in whether or not how that thing's going to play out. You need to be ready. Then you can add value and not pull yourself down and compound the pain. That's what Tracy is adding there as well. And I see Florence Donald has joined us as well. But and Mercy Abound says, I'm following, and put some prayer hands. And I'm grateful for that. I think we used the story of Moses earlier. And this is a great place to land. We used the story of Moses earlier, and we were talking about this whole concept of Moses being a murderer. Why was Moses a murderer? Moses was actually trying to do the same thing God was going to call him to do 40 years later. He wanted to do it at that point, but he was doing it in a place of pain. He was doing it in a place where he had not processed. He was doing it from a place where, and what it equated to was he ended up killing someone. I hate to laugh, but I just, hurt people, right? I mean, You have great intentions, but you're bleeding all over the people you intended to help, and you're causing more problem. I'm just saying, there's a season. It wasn't Moses' season to do it there. After he had gone through the wilderness, and after he had made it to the other side, and after he had gotten married and had kids, and after, that's when God called him and said, it's time for you to go back and do the thing that you wanted to do earlier, but you were trying to do it without me. And you're trying to do it unhealed. But now that you're ready, now it's time for you to go. So I really want to just kind of posit that for you as well today, Mercy Abounds. And I want to say this to those who, we've been on for 1 hour and 41 minutes today. My camera has decided to take a nap multiple times. I don't know. I don't know if it will want to work for me for just a little longer. But my point is simply this, y'all. If you're asking yourself the question, should I get into content? I'm going back to what I said earlier. That's like 2 steps down from where the real question is. The real question is, do I have something to share? Do I have a message? Mercy Abounds is talking about something that she feels is wildly personal and sensitive. And maybe what you do is create a framework and some structures so that you can share that in an intimate space. But what you put out publicly is a little more surface, a little more general, and bring people into your ecosystem. You're creating a funnel, essentially, a customer journey, essentially, so that what you share out there in the public isn't necessarily what you share in the private. But whatever it is, the question really remains for all of us, not just for this one person that's watching with us today, but the question remains, do you have something to share? And if you do, there is an onus, there is a responsibility, there is a stewardship that you have, that you should feel, to share that message, that story with the world. And one of the best ways I've found to be able to do that is to leverage the power and the exponential nature of content. When you steward your story with content, you will discover purpose. It just happens naturally. And that purpose, sometimes you'll say to yourself, maybe I'm not supposed to be doing this. And then you'll hear a story like Tracy shared today, and you're saying, no, I am purposed for this, right? Because the purpose is confirmed by the lives that you will change. The lives that you change can't be quiet about it. And so they will share that story, and it will help to expand your reach. And that expanded reach serves to multiply your opportunities. That's exactly how it all works. And I'm excited for those of you who will take the plunge. Maybe you will work with me, maybe you won't. Maybe something I said today is challenged you and it's caused you to be like, no, I really want to get into this. But for those of you who do decide, I am definitely wanting to take this path, and I want to work with somebody who is purposed to work with others, you're in the right place. There's a link in the description. There's been multiple links on the screen. KirkRNugent.com is the link that I want to send you to. Right on that page, you have an opportunity that says, let's work together. I'd love to be able to jump on, at a minimum, a discovery call, which is free. Jump on a discovery call. I'm not even going to send you the link to it. You can find it. If you really are interested, go KirkRNugent.com, hit the discovery call. Let's chat it up, and let's figure out what working together might look like. Only if you're serious, only if you want to be serious, only if you want to have the impact that your story demands. If you're serious about being a good steward of all that God has written into your story, let's work together. Let's figure it out. Let's not let editing hold you back. Let's ensure that your message is able to serve at scale, which is what content is all about. It's your boy, Kirk Nugent, a geek speaker preacher. Thankful for your time and attention today. It has been a great one. Even while on the road, we can still have these engaging times together. I hope that you got something from the video today. I hope that you were able to see yourself in the video today. I see some of your comments coming in as well. Cassandra says, wow, this was off the hook. Thank you for your time, Coach. Computer Pal says, you are the content. You are your content. Yes. And I couldn't agree with that more. Thank you each for your attention. This space does not exist. It does not happen like this if you don't show up, if you don't engage, if you don't ask your questions. And you did that today in spades. And you don't even know how many people you will help because of the questions you asked today while we were live. And that's just the reason why I absolutely love this format and this framing, because this is what God has called me to do. Family, be blessed. I hope that you have a phenomenal week, and I hope to see you in another one of our shows, or in the community, or in coaching. Grace and peace.